G'day and welcome to another Aussie edition of our weekly news videos. I'm Samantha Sequeira.
And I'm Scott Wade, and there's plenty going on down under this week, isn't there, Sam?
There certainly is, Scott. Let's start with the headlines. Australian graduate visa found to benefit students but not assist them in the job market.
Agent engagement scheme announced to combat visa fraud in New Zealand.
Nuffic foreign officers at risk amid planned funding cuts.
And Scotland criticises the UK post-study offer. Let's head over to Australia first, shall we?
Let's do it. A new report has found that Australia's temporary graduate visa, or 485 visa, doesn't actually get that many international students a job post-study, but it does offer benefits.
Well, that's right. Respondents determined that having more time and opportunity to stay in Australia enabled them to enhance their English language and professional, social, networking and residency capital, but concerns over English language proficiency and that their understanding of the local workplace culture were found to be the main reason for employers not hiring international students. The report also stated that employers had a lack of understanding regarding the visa, although it didn't state what employers actually found ambiguous.
But this visa is something that many others in the study travel industry outside of Australia wish that their governments offered.
Yeah, that's for sure, Sam. As we'll explain in another story in a few minutes regarding UK visas.
But just to finish with the 485 visa, the Australian government has also announced plans to give international students who study and work in regional Australia an extra year of post-study work rights on a second temporary graduate visa, so they can get their shorts and singlets ready and head out to the bush.
Yeah, a little bit of outback. Moving on to another Aussie story, the Australian Skills Quality Authority, the regulator for vocational and English language programs, has praised delivery in the sectors but outlines what it sees as risks from continued growth in international students and recommends tightening legislation for providers and agents in a new report.
The authors call for clarity on minimum attendance and greater intelligence sharing to stamp out any collusion between schools, agents, employers and students whose main intention is to work rather than study. ASQA also recommends new advice sheets for agents to help recognise compliance at schools. Hear more about the recommendations in the new story on StudyTravel Network.
Yes, well, no surprise Australia has more regulations, but now over the pond to New Zealand, where a joint industry and agent engagement program has been announced to grow high-quality student enrolments from Vietnam and curb documentation fraud.
The new scheme is in response to a series of fraud cases detected by Immigration New Zealand's Visa Processing Centre in Mumbai recently. The 47 cases of fraudulent financial documentation implicated a number of Vietnamese education agents, which covered students applying to all sectors of education in New Zealand. This new program will aim to develop and safeguard recruitment efforts in the Vietnamese market.
Well, the Dutch Ministry of Education, Culture and Science has announced plans for significant cuts to the budget provided to Nuffic, the government organisation responsible for promoting international education in the Netherlands.
In a statement on its website, Nuffic said the proposals to reduce its government subsidy, effective from 2021, will force it to scale back its operations drastically. They also confirmed that the ministry intends to stop the funding for the Holland Alumni Network, which connects people around the world who share a Dutch study experience.
A report commissioned by the Scottish Government to compare post-study work systems in major study destinations has described the UK's offer as poor and called for an overhaul of settings to attract and retain international students.
The study, conducted by Dr. Paulina Trevina of the University of Glasgow, compares the post-study work settings, international student data and retention trends in 6 EU destinations: France, Germany, Ireland, Sweden and the Netherlands and the UK, and 4 English-speaking non-EU countries: Australia, Canada, New Zealand and the USA.
The author claims the UK's current and proposed post-study offer is far less attractive than its competitor countries, and that UK government should introduce a more competitive post-study work offer, taking into consideration ease of application and application timescales, program length, work entitlement and opportunities for applying to the program after leaving the UK.
Finally, Canada-based Tamwood Careers College has announced it has signed credit transfer pathway MOUs with 3 public institutions, giving students access to vocational training programs.
Students will be able to transfer credits from their Tamwood courses, reducing the cost of tuition and the amount of studying that they need to undertake at one of the 3 public partners. They will also have access to the postgraduate work permit, which allows them to work for 3 years following graduation from the public institution.
In other news, iLike is launching a new healthcare program administration program.
And Turkish agencies have reported an unusually high number of visa refusals for the UK this year, a claim that has been supported by some UK language schools. The issue has been continuing through the summer and affecting all levels of study, predominantly for English language programs.
And that's it from us this week. For all stories mentioned in this video, keep an eye on the StudyTravel network and let us know your thoughts on the latest news by commenting and sharing this video.
And also 2 weeks until Alpha UK, so don't forget to download the StudyTravel app to access your meeting requests on the go.
And in a little tribute to Oz, the world's happiest animal, the quokka, is celebrating its birthday next month.
Woo! Happy birthday to all the quokkas on Rottnest. So if you're heading to Western Australia in September, make sure you check out these celebrations. See you soon, cobbers.
See ya!
Bye-bye.